Can we do it again tonight, please? The alien maid begged her human owner. The small human colony on the edge of the Phaedra system was quiet that evening. Soft blue lights glimmered across the domed habitat, reflecting in the polished metal walls. Outside, the twin moons hung low in the sky, casting long shadows over the rocky terrain. Inside the lab, Amara Lee, a young human inventor, was hunched over a glowing workbench. Her fingers moved quickly as she adjusted wires, buttons, and tiny holographic panels. "Almost ready," she muttered, her eyes bright with excitement. A soft, buzzing sound echoed behind her, followed by a small, melodic voice. "Can we do it again tonight, please?" Amara smiled without turning. She knew that voice well. It belonged to Zyra, her alien assistant. Zyra's body shimmered in shades of purple and silver, with large, curious eyes that glowed faintly in dim light. Her limbs were slender but strong, perfect for delicate tasks that Amara sometimes struggled with. "Again?" Amara asked, finally looking up. Zyra's eyes sparkled and she nodded eagerly, almost bouncing in place. "Last night's experiment was interesting. I want to see if we can improve it," Zyra said. Her voice had a musical quality, rising and falling like a soft song. Amara laughed. All right. Let's finish what we started." Together, they had been working on a new type of energy analyzer, a device that could detect unusual energy signals from space. It was small but powerful, capable of sensing patterns far beyond what human instruments could. Zyra's alien senses gave her a unique advantage, allowing her to notice energy fluctuations that Amara could only guess at. As they set up the equipment, Amara thought about how strange and wonderful it was to have an alien friend. Zyra wasn't just an assistant, she was a partner. While humans on the colony had mixed feelings about aliens, Amara had always believed that cooperation, not fear, was the path to progress. The analyzer hummed to life, its core glowing a soft green. Zyra hovered over it, her eyes scanning the display. "I think the signal is coming from the asteroid belt near our orbit," she said. "It's faint but very precise, almost like a message." Amara raised her eyebrows. "A message from whom?" Zyra shook her head. "I do not know yet. But it is worth investigating." The thought of an alien message sent a thrill through Amara. She had always dreamed of discovery, of pushing humanity beyond the limits of its knowledge. Now, with Zyra's help, that dream was closer than ever. They gathered their gear, portable analyzers, energy shields, and a small hovercraft capable of moving through the asteroid belt. The colony's artificial night had begun, and the twin moons cast silver light across the domed roofs. Zyra's eyes reflected the light, giving her an almost ethereal glow. As they floated above the colony in the hovercraft, Amara glanced at Zyra. "Do you think it's dangerous?" Zyra considered this for a moment. "All discoveries have risk, but risk is not always bad." "Sometimes it leads to understanding." Amara nodded. She admired Zyra's calmness. Humans often panicked in the face of the unknown, but Zyra approached it with curiosity and patience. Together, they balanced each other perfectly. The asteroid belt came into view. Rocks of all shapes and sizes drifted silently through space, lit by the distant suns. Amara carefully maneuvered the hovercraft between them, while Zyra monitored the energy signals. "There!" Zyra pointed a slender finger toward a cluster of dark asteroids. The energy signature was stronger here, pulsing like a heartbeat. Amara slowed the craft and activated the analyzer. The device hummed louder and a small holographic map appeared above it, showing a faint, spiraling pattern. "What do you make of it?" Amara asked. Zyra's eyes glowed brighter. "It is intelligent, not alive, but created. Someone made this signal." Amara's heart raced. They were not just investigating a strange energy pattern. They had found something crafted, something deliberate. Her mind filled with possibilities. A message from an alien civilization, a lost research device, or even a new form of energy waiting to be discovered. Suddenly, a shadow passed over the hovercraft. Amara looked up to see a large asteroid moving faster than it should. Its surface glimmered unnaturally, reflecting the light from the moons. "Zyra, hold on!" Amara shouted, twisting the controls. The craft jolted, narrowly avoiding a collision. Zyra's reflexes were faster than any human's. She extended her arms, activating a small energy field around the craft. The asteroid grazed the shield, sending a shower of sparks into space, but the hovercraft remained unharmed. "That was close," Amara breathed. Zyra nodded, her expression calm. "Space is full of surprises." We must stay vigilant. They resumed their approach, moving more cautiously. The spiraling energy signal grew stronger and the source became clearer, a small, metallic object nestled between two asteroids. Its surface was etched with symbols that neither Amara nor Zyra recognized. Amara's hands trembled with excitement as she guided the hovercraft closer. "It's beautiful," she whispered. Zyra hovered over the object, scanning it. "It is a device. And it is ancient, or at least very old." Amara studied it carefully. "Do you think it's dangerous?" "Unknown," Zyra said, "but curiosity is the first step to understanding. Let us examine it carefully." They anchored the hovercraft near the object, attaching a magnetic tether. Amara's heart beat fast as she floated toward it, Zyra close behind. The symbols glowed faintly as she touched the surface, responding to their presence. "It's reacting to us," Amara said. Zyra tilted her head, her glowing eyes scanning the device. "It wants attention." "Perhaps it was waiting for intelligent beings like us." Amara smiled. "Then we'd better figure out what it wants to tell us." Together, human and alien, they began to study the device. Tiny holographic panels unfolded, displaying incomprehensible patterns of light and sound. Amara's mind raced to interpret them, while Zyra's unique senses detected frequencies and energy shifts humans could not perceive. Hours passed, though it felt like minutes. Each discovery led to another, each pattern suggesting something more complex. They were not just observers, they were part of something greater, a chain of knowledge stretching across the stars. Finally, the device pulsed brightly, then projected a map of nearby star systems. At the center was a symbol neither had seen before, glowing like a beacon. "It's pointing somewhere," Amara whispered, awe in her voice. Zyra nodded. "A destination, perhaps a place where knowledge awaits, or a challenge we must prepare carefully." Amara looked at Zyra, a smile spreading across her face. "Looks like our adventure is only beginning." Zyra's eyes sparkled with excitement. "Can we do it again tomorrow?" Amara laughed softly. "Yes, we will explore it together, but tonight let's celebrate what we've found." And for the first time, under the twin moons of Phaedra, human and alien shared a moment of pure wonder, a moment that would mark the start of a journey neither would ever forget. The morning light of the Phaedra colony filtered softly through the transparent dome. Amara Lee stretched, her body still aching slightly from the late-night adventure. Beside her, Zyra hovered, her violet-silver glow pulsing gently in the soft sunlight. Even though the night had been full of discoveries, both were wide awake and eager to continue. "Good morning," Amara said, smiling. "Did you sleep at all?" Zyra tilted her head, her glowing eyes reflecting amusement. "Sleep is different for me. I rested, but I was thinking." Amara laughed. "I expected nothing less. I was thinking too." "That device, it's pointing to a location far beyond the Phaedra system, a place no human has visited." Zyra's eyes glimmered. "It is an invitation or a test. Either way, it calls to those willing to explore." Amara shivered with excitement. The thought of venturing into uncharted space made her pulse quicken. She had grown up hearing stories of great explorers, humans who reached new worlds and uncovered secrets of the universe. And now, with Zyra by her side, she had the chance to become part of that legacy. After breakfast, the duo prepared the hovercraft and loaded supplies for the journey. Food rations, repair tools, energy shields, navigation modules, all carefully packed. Amara checked and rechecked each system. Zyra hovered nearby, scanning the equipment with her sensitive eyes, detecting energy inconsistencies invisible to human instruments. "Everything seems stable," Zyra confirmed. "But I sense turbulence ahead. Space near unknown locations is rarely calm." Amara nodded. "Then we stay alert. Nothing new there." With the colony's blessing, they lifted off into the dark expanse. The Phaedra moons faded behind them as they moved into deep space, and the familiar stars of their system gave way to distant, unfamiliar constellations. Zyra guided them with instinctive precision, reading subtle gravitational waves that no human sensor could fully detect. Hours passed in silence, filled only with the soft hum of the hovercraft and the occasional spark of energy from the analyzer. Finally, the device they had discovered the night before began to pulse more rapidly, projecting holographic signals into the cabin. "Something is changing," Amara said. "We are getting closer." Zyra's eyes glowed brighter. "Yes, I sense the energy field expanding." "It is alive in a way." The map projected by the device showed a cluster of asteroids forming an unusual pattern, a spiral that seemed almost like a miniature galaxy. "That must be it," Amara whispered. "The device is leading us there." As they approached, the asteroids revealed something remarkable. Hidden among the rocks were structures, metallic towers rising like silent sentinels. They glimmered faintly under the light of distant stars. Amara's jaw dropped. "Buildings in space?" Zyra's voice carried awe. "Constructed with precision. Perhaps a civilization once thrived here, or still does in some form." Careful not to disturb anything, Amara guided the hovercraft between the structures. Sensors detected no life forms, but energy readings were high, confirming the structures were more than simple ruins. "We need to investigate on foot," Amara said. She activated a small teleport platform from the craft, lowering them onto the surface of a flat asteroid. The ground beneath them was smooth and metallic, almost polished. Strange symbols glimmered faintly like a silent language. Zyra scanned the symbols with her senses. "They are instructions, a sequence, a path to follow." Amara studied the patterns. "Like a puzzle. If we follow it correctly, it will lead us to the source." Step by step, they moved along the path, careful and deliberate. The structures seemed to respond to their presence. Panels lit up, doors hummed as if awakening from a long slumber. Hours passed. Amara felt a mixture of excitement and nervousness. What if this place was dangerous? What if the civilization that created it had traps to protect its secrets? But Zyra's calm presence reassured her. Wherever the alien sensed safety, she trusted it. Finally, they arrived at a large chamber, its walls covered with symbols and diagrams. In the center floated a sphere of energy, humming softly, pulsating with light that shifted from blue to gold. Amara approached carefully. The energy felt alive, like it was aware of their presence. "It's beautiful," Amara whispered. She reached out, and the sphere responded, rippling as if acknowledging her touch. Zyra extended a delicate hand. "This is more than energy. It is knowledge preserved for those who can understand." Amara's mind raced. Could this be a storage device, an archive left behind by an ancient civilization? The possibilities were staggering. They spent hours analyzing the sphere. Amara's human ingenuity allowed her to decipher mechanical functions, while Zyra's alien perception revealed layers of energy and meaning humans could not detect. Each discovery felt like uncovering a treasure buried for millennia. Suddenly, the sphere pulsed sharply, projecting a holographic image. Amara and Zyra froze. The image was not clear at first, just light and shapes, but gradually a pattern emerged, a map of stars, but unlike any chart Amara had seen. The symbols were unfamiliar, yet they seemed logical, mathematical in their arrangement. "This is a guide," Amara said, awe in her voice. "To somewhere beyond our maps, somewhere we have never been." Zyra's eyes glowed brighter. "It is a test or an invitation. Only those who reach this place can follow the path." Amara nodded, feeling both excitement and responsibility. Humans had always sought to explore, to learn, to push boundaries. And now, with Zyra at her side, she had the chance to prove that humanity could rise to the challenge. But as they prepared to leave, the chamber shifted. Hidden panels opened, revealing corridors extending deep into the asteroid. The sphere pulsed again, and this time a soft hum filled the air, vibrating through the walls and the floor. "Do you hear that?" Amara whispered. Zyra tilted her head. "Yes, it is welcoming us or warning us, hard to say." Cautiously, they moved forward, following the corridors. The walls shimmered, reacting to their presence. Strange symbols lit up one by one, creating a path deeper into the structure. Hours passed, or maybe minutes. It was hard to tell in this strange environment. Every step brought new marvels, floating platforms, crystalline structures, energy streams that flowed like rivers in the air. Amara could barely contain her excitement. "This place, it's incredible," she said. "I've never seen anything like it." "Zyra, do you think humans built anything like this?" Zyra shook her head. "No, this is ancient, older than human history, but humans can learn, humans can create. That is why we are here, to connect the past with the future." Finally, they reached the end of the corridor. A large chamber opened before them, bigger than anything Amara could imagine. In the center floated a crystalline structure, radiating energy in every direction. The sphere from before hovered near it, its light merging with the crystal. Amara felt a sense of awe, as if standing in the presence of a living star. "Zyra, this is beyond anything we could have imagined." Zyra's voice was soft but firm. And this is only the beginning. The crystal contains knowledge, energy, and guidance. If we can understand it, we can bring its wisdom back to our people. Amara's mind raced with possibilities. Could humanity use this knowledge to improve space travel, energy production, or communication across stars? The potential was limitless, but so was the responsibility. As they examined the chamber, the crystal pulsed brighter, sending waves of energy through the room. Symbols floated in the air, forming patterns that Amara and Zyra studied carefully. Each pattern seemed to be a message, a guide, a puzzle meant to teach and challenge them. "This is what discovery feels like," Amara whispered. "Not just finding something new, but understanding it, learning from it, and using it to grow." Zyra nodded. "Humans have courage. You see the unknown and want to embrace it. That is why we work well together. Your curiosity, my perception. Together, we can achieve more than either of us alone." Amara smiled, feeling a deep sense of pride. Humanity had always struggled with fear of the unknown, but she realized now that bravery, curiosity, and teamwork were the keys to survival and progress. With Zyra's help, they could face any challenge. As they prepared to document their findings and continue deeper into the structure, Amara felt a surge of excitement. Whatever lay ahead, she knew they were ready. Together, human and alien, they would explore the mysteries of the stars and show that courage, intelligence, and friendship could bridge worlds. And somewhere deep in the crystalline chamber, the energy pulsed again, as if acknowledging them, welcoming the explorers who had dared to reach this far. The crystalline chamber glimmered in the dim light of distant stars, sending ripples of color across the metallic walls. Amara Lee and Zyra stood at the center, staring in awe at the enormous crystal. It was alive in a way that no human invention could ever match. Its surface pulsed with a rhythm that almost felt like a heartbeat, and its energy radiated warmth, not heat, filling the chamber with a sense of calm purpose. "We need to understand it fully," Amara said, her voice barely above a whisper. "There is knowledge here, something important. We can't leave without deciphering it." Zyra hovered closer, her eyes glowing with concentration. "The crystal is interactive. It senses presence, awareness, and intent. We must approach carefully. If our minds are not open, it may reject us." Amara nodded, recalling all the times humans had encountered ancient artifacts and failed because of fear or impatience. She took a deep breath and focused her thoughts, letting curiosity and determination guide her. Zyra mirrored her focus, closing her eyes briefly as if connecting with the crystal on a level beyond physical senses. Slowly, the crystal's light shifted. Patterns formed in the air, sequences of glowing lines and symbols floating like delicate ribbons. Amara reached out her hand, instinctively tracing the sequences. As she did, the crystal responded, pulsing brighter and revealing more complex symbols. "This is a puzzle," Amara realized. "Not a trap, but a test. It wants us to think, to understand." Zyra nodded. "It evaluates intelligence, creativity, and cooperation. We must work together. Alone, we may fail." Amara and Zyra began the task. The crystal projected sequences of energy patterns, shifting colors, and mathematical shapes. Amara used her knowledge of physics and engineering to interpret the mechanical logic behind the patterns. Zyra, with her alien perception, detected the subtle energy flows and vibrations, noticing how the crystal's reactions changed with their movements and thoughts. Hours passed. Time lost meaning in the chamber, measured only by the slow progression of patterns they deciphered. Every solved sequence caused the crystal to pulse in appreciation, projecting new levels of complexity. Amara's mind ached with effort, but her excitement never waned. "This is incredible," she murmured. "We're learning, but it's like the crystal is teaching in layers. Each step leads to a deeper understanding." Zyra's voice was calm, yet carried admiration. "It is designed to encourage growth. It tests patience, logic, and trust, and it recognizes those who work as a team." The crystal shifted suddenly, sending a surge of energy that enveloped the chamber. The walls seemed to shimmer and dissolve, revealing a vast expanse of stars beyond, as if they were no longer on a single asteroid but floating in space itself. Amara felt a thrill of wonder. "Look," she whispered, pointing to the projection. "It's showing a pathway through the galaxy, a route marked by stars and energy nodes. It's guiding us somewhere." Zyra's eyes glowed brighter. "Yes, but it is not just a route. Each node is a challenge. Each step tests knowledge, courage, and perception." Amara's pulse quickened. This was no ordinary discovery. They were being prepared for something far greater than either had imagined. The crystal was more than an archive. It was a mentor guiding worthy explorers toward wisdom and understanding. Suddenly, the first node of energy appeared in the holographic map, a small glowing sphere pulsing in rhythm with the crystal. "We have to activate it," Amara said. "But how?" Zyra extended her hand, feeling the energy. "It responds to thought and intent. Focus and the path will open." Amara closed her eyes, concentrating on clarity, curiosity, and courage. She reached out, imagining the energy flowing from her mind into the sphere. The sphere pulsed brightly, then lifted into the air, revealing a tunnel of light extending from the chamber. "We did it," Amara whispered, her eyes wide with wonder. Zyra nodded, her voice calm but thrilled. "This is the first of many. The crystal measures growth, not just intellect. We must proceed carefully." They entered the tunnel, floating in the soft glow. Each step felt weightless, yet purposeful. The walls shimmered with patterns of light, almost like the stars themselves were whispering secrets. Amara felt both awe and nervousness. The tunnel led to a second chamber, smaller but filled with a lattice of energy beams, forming a complex web across the floor and ceiling. "A physical test," Amara said, examining the pattern. "We need to navigate it without breaking the energy lines." Zyra's eyes scanned the lattice, noting the slight vibrations in each beam. "They react to touch. If we disturb the wrong pattern, the system resets. We must move in sync." Amara took a deep breath and began stepping carefully. Zyra mirrored her, guiding her movements with subtle gestures and quiet cues. Every step required precision, awareness, and trust. The beams pulsed with energy as they passed, testing their patience and coordination. Minutes stretched like hours, but finally they reached the center of the chamber. A small pedestal rose from the floor, holding a glowing crystal fragment. The moment Amara touched it, the lattice vanished and the room transformed. Walls became transparent, revealing a breathtaking view of a nebula, colorful gases swirling in patterns too vast to comprehend. Zyra's voice was filled with admiration. "The crystal rewards understanding and cooperation. Each challenge prepares us for the next." Amara smiled, feeling the thrill of discovery. "It's teaching us, but also showing us what humanity can achieve. We can solve problems, explore the unknown, and grow beyond limits." As they marveled, the pedestal projected a message in symbols and light. Amara recognized some patterns as mathematical sequences, others as energy flows she had studied before. Slowly, she and Zyra decoded the message. "Beyond courage lies knowledge. Beyond knowledge lies unity." Zyra nodded. "It is a reminder that discovery is not just about intelligence. It is about trust, cooperation, and respect. Alone, no one can reach the end. Together, anything is possible." Amara felt a surge of pride. Humanity often underestimated itself, but here, with Zyra, she realized what humans could achieve when curiosity, courage, and cooperation were combined. Suddenly, the chamber trembled slightly. The nebula beyond seemed to swirl more rapidly, and the light patterns from the pedestal shifted. "Something is happening," Amara said, a note of concern in her voice. Zyra's eyes narrowed. "The crystal is testing endurance. It accelerates challenges to measure resilience." A series of energy nodes appeared, floating around them in the chamber. Each node pulsed in a different rhythm, color, and intensity. "We must activate them simultaneously," Amara realized. "If we fail, the system might reset, or worse, close off entirely." Zyra extended her senses, feeling the subtle vibrations in each node. "We must coordinate perfectly. Our minds, our actions, our understanding, all must align." With careful planning, Amara and Zyra positioned themselves at opposite ends of the chamber. Step by step, they activated each node, responding to its rhythm and energy flow. The task was complex and exhausting, requiring full attention and trust. Minutes passed like hours, but finally the last node pulsed brightly, merging with the central crystal. A wave of energy swept across the chamber, lifting Amara and Zyra slightly off the floor. The nebula beyond glowed brilliantly, as if applauding their success. "We did it," Amara whispered, breathless but exhilarated. Zyra's eyes shone with pride. "Yes. We have passed the second stage. The crystal acknowledges our courage, intelligence, and teamwork. We are worthy of the knowledge beyond." Amara looked at Zyra, smiling. "Together we can go anywhere. Humanity can reach the stars and maybe even beyond." The crystal pulsed one final time, projecting a star map unlike any other. It showed a path far beyond known space, leading to distant systems filled with unknown possibilities. Amara felt a surge of excitement. This was more than a journey, it was a challenge, a call to push limits, and an opportunity to prove what humans and allies could achieve together. Zyra hovered beside her, her voice soft but firm. "We are ready, Amara. Beyond this point, the adventure will test us further. But together, we will succeed." Amara nodded, determination shining in her eyes. "Then let's continue. Whatever lies ahead, we face it together, for discovery, for understanding, for humanity." And as they stepped forward into the next passage, the chamber shimmered, as if acknowledging the courage, intelligence, and unity of its human and alien explorers. The tunnel beyond the energy nodes stretched endlessly, yet Amara, Lee, and Zyra felt no fear. The soft glow from the central crystal behind them bathed the path in shimmering light, casting patterns that danced across the walls. Every step they took seemed to resonate with the pulse of the crystal, as though it was guiding them deeper into the heart of an ancient and mysterious intelligence. Amara adjusted her backpack and glanced at Zyra. "Do you think anyone has been here before us?" Zyra's eyes glowed softly. "Perhaps, but not for a long time. This place tests visitors. Only those who understand courage, intelligence, and cooperation can proceed. Many may have tried and failed." Amara nodded, feeling a renewed sense of purpose. Humanity had often been underestimated, especially by those who doubted human ingenuity. But with Zyra by her side, she knew they had the potential to rise to any challenge. The corridor opened into a vast chamber. Unlike the previous ones, this room was alive with movement. Energy streams flowed like rivers, weaving through the chamber in complex patterns. Small floating platforms hovered above these streams, glowing faintly. At the far end, a massive crystalline structure rose like a spire, radiating energy that made the air hum with power. "This must be the central core," Amara whispered, stepping carefully onto one of the floating platforms. The platform rose smoothly beneath her weight, adjusting automatically to keep balance. Zyra followed, her movements precise and fluid. "The core holds the greatest knowledge. But it also presents the most difficult challenge. The crystal will test both body and mind." Amara studied the energy streams. They shifted and pulsed with a rhythm that seemed almost alive. "We have to reach the core without touching the streams. They might reset the path, or worse." Zyra extended her hand, sensing the flows. "Patience, focus, and coordination, we must move in unison." Step by step, they advanced. The platforms rose and tilted subtly, requiring careful balance. Each movement had to be synchronized, or the energy streams would surge. Amara felt her heart pound as she concentrated, adjusting her steps with every shift. Zyra mirrored her precisely, their motions perfectly in tune. Halfway across the chamber, a sudden surge of energy swept through the platforms. The streams below glowed brighter, sending vibrations through the air. Amara's foot slipped slightly, but Zyra caught her with a gentle, swift motion. "Careful," Zyra murmured. "The crystal tests vigilance. A single lapse can make the difference." Amara swallowed hard, grateful for Zyra's reflexes. "Thanks, I almost lost focus." Zyra smiled faintly. "Focus is earned, not given. Let us continue." With renewed determination, they crossed the remaining platforms, reaching the spire-like core. The crystal at the center pulsed brightly, sending waves of energy across the chamber. Patterns of symbols and lights spiraled outward, forming a complex map of star systems, energy pathways, and strange geometric figures. Amara approached the core cautiously. This is incredible. The crystal contains knowledge beyond anything humans have discovered." Zyra's eyes glimmered. "It is a record of understanding, technological, scientific, and philosophical. The creators wanted those who reached the core to learn, not just observe." As they examined the crystal, the energy patterns shifted. Holographic projections of machines, starships, and energy systems appeared, moving and transforming in ways that challenged human comprehension. Amara's mind raced to understand them. "These designs," she murmured. "They could revolutionize energy production, propulsion, even communication. Humans could reach stars faster and more efficiently with this knowledge." Zyra nodded. "Yes, but the crystal tests more than intelligence. It tests judgment, creativity, and the ability to apply knowledge responsibly." A sudden vibration ran through the chamber. The energy streams around them began to converge, forming a barrier that cut off the entrance. Amara realized this was another test. They could not simply leave with the knowledge, they had to prove they could use it wisely. "What now?" Amara asked, tension in her voice. Zyra extended her senses toward the core. "We must solve the puzzle." The crystal creates challenges to test decision-making. Observe the patterns, predict the flows, and act carefully. One wrong move, and we start over. Amara studied the projections. Streams of energy intersected with nodes representing star systems, creating a complex network. Certain paths glowed faintly. These were the correct sequences, the safe routes. Others pulsed erratically, indicating danger. "I think I understand," Amara whispered. "If we guide the energy through the nodes in the correct sequence, we can unlock the exit." Zyra's eyes glowed brighter. "Yes, we must act with precision. Human creativity and my perception combined will guide the flow." Step by step, Amara reached toward the crystal, her hands tracing the projected pathways. Energy responded, flowing smoothly through the correct nodes. Zyra adjusted subtly, redirecting flows that were unstable, ensuring the energy moved efficiently. Together, they formed a perfect balance of logic, intuition, and coordination. As the final node aligned, the crystal pulsed with radiant light. The energy stream stabilized, the floating platform stopped shifting, and a clear path to the chamber's exit appeared. Amara felt a rush of relief and exhilaration. "We did it," she whispered, breathless but triumphant. Zyra nodded, her expression serene. "The crystal recognizes capability and unity. We are worthy of the knowledge it preserves." Amara studied the core, realizing that their journey had only begun. This chamber, this crystal, was not just a test, it was a gateway to discovery. Beyond it lay systems and technologies that could expand humanity's reach and understanding. But with such knowledge came responsibility. Misuse could be disastrous. Suddenly, a new projection appeared, different from anything they had seen. It showed a distant star system, glowing faintly. Within it was a planet marked with symbols that seemed to indicate life, energy sources, and a potential new home. "Look at this," Amara said, pointing to the projection. "The crystal is guiding us to something beyond, maybe even a new frontier." Zyra studied it carefully. "Yes, the creators designed this as a journey of growth. It is not enough to understand knowledge. We must use it wisely and explore responsibly." Amara felt a surge of determination. Humanity had always reached for the stars, but often without wisdom or guidance. Now, with Zyra's help, she had the chance to lead an exploration that combined courage, intellect, and respect. "We need to document everything," she said. "The designs, the pathways, the energy systems, everything. Humans must learn from this safely and responsibly." Zyra nodded. "Agreed, but we must also prepare for what lies ahead. The journey beyond the crystal will be challenging. Unknown obstacles and intelligent systems await. We must remain vigilant." Amara looked at her alien companion, feeling a deep sense of trust. "Whatever comes next, we face it together. We've already proven that humans and allies can solve challenges, overcome tests, and adapt. We can do this." Zyra's eyes glowed warmly. "And we will. Together, human and alien, we show that courage, intelligence, and cooperation can overcome even the most complex challenges." For the next several hours, they worked tirelessly, recording every projection, tracing every energy pattern, and understanding the complex designs the crystal revealed. Amara marveled at the sophistication of the alien intelligence, while Zyra admired the human creativity and adaptability that allowed them to navigate the challenges. As night fell over the distant star systems visible through the transparent chamber walls, Amara and Zyra finally paused. The crystal pulsed softly, as if acknowledging their effort, and then quieted, allowing them a moment of reflection. Amara gazed at Zyra, a smile forming on her face. "We've learned so much, but I feel like the real adventure is just beginning. Beyond this crystal, beyond these tests, there's a universe waiting for us to explore responsibly and boldly." Zyra hovered beside her, her glow steady and reassuring. "Yes, and the crystal's purpose is fulfilled. It has prepared us. Beyond this point, our choices and actions will shape the future. Humans have the potential to reach the stars, not just physically, but intellectually and morally." Amara felt a deep sense of pride. Humanity often doubted itself, but now she understood that courage, curiosity, and cooperation could unlock incredible potential. With Zyra at her side, She was confident they could face anything the universe placed in their path. The exit from the crystal chamber opened slowly, revealing a corridor leading toward a star map illuminated by distant suns. The crystal's energy lingered, a gentle reminder of the lessons learned: patience, trust, intelligence, and unity. Amara took a deep breath. Let's continue. The universe is waiting, and we have the knowledge, skill, and courage to explore it safely and wisely. Zyra's voice carried warmth and certainty. Yes, and together we will prove that humans, when guided by curiosity and cooperation, can rise to any challenge. With that, the two explorers stepped forward, leaving the crystalline core behind, ready to embrace the unknown, guided by knowledge, courage, and unity. The adventure that began with a simple alien device had transformed into a journey of discovery, one that would test them, teach them, and show the universe what humanity could achieve. Amara, Lee, and Zyra stepped into the corridor beyond the crystalline chamber, their minds still, buzzing from the lessons and discoveries they had gained. The soft glow from the crystal faded behind them, leaving a faint warmth in the air, like a silent farewell. Beyond the corridor lay a vast expanse of space, projected through the walls like a living map of the universe, showing distant stars, swirling nebulae, and a single glowing path that led to a far-off star system. "This is it," Amara whispered, awe-filling her voice. "The destination the crystal has been guiding us toward." Zyra's violet-silver form pulsed with excitement. "Yes, this star system holds the ultimate lesson. The creators left it as the final stage for explorers worthy of their knowledge. Beyond this point, intelligence, courage, and cooperation will be tested together." Amara took a deep breath. "We've come so far, we can do this, together." The journey through the tunnel led them to a launch chamber filled with a sleek, alien vessel, unlike anything Amara had seen before. Its surface shimmered with energy, reflecting patterns from the crystal chamber. Panels of glowing symbols hovered in the air, awaiting interaction. Zyra floated closer to the console. "This vessel is part of the final test. It will respond only to those who can synchronize thought and action. We must guide it carefully." Amara nodded, placing her hands on the console. As she did, the symbols responded to her touch, shifting in complex patterns that seemed almost like language made of energy. Zyra mirrored her movements, focusing her senses to match Amara's thoughts. Slowly, the vessel powered up, the lights on its surface pulsing in rhythm with their actions. "It's alive," Amara whispered. "It reacts to us." Zyra's voice was calm. "Not alive as humans know it, but intelligent. It trusts us because we have proven ourselves." Once the vessel stabilized, it hovered silently above the chamber floor. Amara and Zyra stepped inside, taking their positions. The interior was spacious, filled with glowing panels and floating platforms. Energy flowed gently through conduits, connecting the walls, floors, and ceiling like a living network. As the vessel rose into the corridor, it projected a holographic map of the star system ahead. The path was marked with nodes, each glowing with different intensities. Some pulsed slowly, others rapidly. "Each node represents a challenge," Zyra explained. "We must navigate carefully. The crystal has prepared us, but this is the ultimate test." Amara studied the first node, a bright green sphere hovering in space. "We need to reach it without disrupting the energy flow. If we misstep, the vessel will reset." With Zyra's guidance, Amara maneuvered the vessel toward the node. The ship responded to their combined focus, gliding smoothly as they aligned their thoughts with its energy. When they reached the node, it pulsed brightly and a new pathway opened. "Good," Zyra said. "The crystal's guidance and our coordination are working." The next nodes presented increasing difficulty. Some required rapid reactions, others demanded careful calculations. The vessel tilted and rotated as they moved through narrow gaps between asteroids and energy streams. Amara's heart pounded, but her confidence in herself and Zyra never wavered. "This is incredible," Amara whispered. "I never imagined humans could control something like this." Zyra's eyes glimmered. "Humans are capable of extraordinary things when they combine courage, intelligence, and cooperation. That is why we work together." Hours passed as they navigated the nodes, each success filling them with pride and understanding. The vessel seemed to recognize their growth, responding more fluidly as they adapted to each challenge. Finally, they reached the last node, a glowing golden sphere suspended in the heart of a small nebula. "This is it," Amara said. "The final node." Whatever happens here, we must stay focused. Zyra nodded. This node tests understanding, judgment, and unity. The crystal's lessons culminate here. We must act with both intelligence and heart. They approached the golden node carefully. Energy waves rippled outward, reacting to their thoughts and intentions. Amara focused on clarity, curiosity, and respect for the unknown. Zyra mirrored her intent, blending alien perception with human determination. The node pulsed brightly, then split into a series of interconnected energy streams. Amara realized that they needed to connect the streams in a pattern that balanced power and harmony. One wrong move could cause the energy to collapse. "Follow my lead," Amara whispered. "We can do this." Step by step, they connected the streams, guiding energy through the correct paths. The nebula around them glowed brighter, reacting to their success. Zyra adjusted subtle currents, ensuring perfect alignment. Together, human and alien, they completed the pattern. The golden node pulsed one final time, releasing a wave of light that enveloped the vessel. The nebula shimmered, and a portal of energy appeared ahead, a gateway to the star at the center of the system. "We've done it," Amara whispered, awe in her voice. "The final test is complete." Zyra's eyes glimmered with pride. "The crystal and the vessel acknowledge our unity. We are worthy of the knowledge and guidance beyond." The vessel glided through the portal, emerging near a planet bathed in soft golden light. From orbit, they could see vast oceans, sprawling forests, and structures that glimmered faintly, signs of intelligent life, though unlike any human civilization. Amara gasped. "It's beautiful, a new world, and the crystal led us here." Zyra nodded. "Yes, the creators designed this test not just to challenge, but to guide. This planet is a place of learning, discovery, and growth. It is a reward for those who prove capable of responsibility and cooperation." As they descended toward the planet, they noticed strange symbols etched across the landscape, glowing faintly in rhythm with the crystal's energy. Amara realized these were markers, perhaps left by the ancient civilization that created the crystal, guiding explorers safely to the surface. On landing, they stepped onto the soft ground, feeling the pulse of energy beneath their feet. The air was fresh, carrying a scent that reminded Amara of both forests and the sea. Everywhere she looked, life seemed balanced and harmonious. "This place, it feels alive," Amara whispered. "Not just with biology, but with knowledge, energy, and purpose." Zyra extended her senses. "The planet is a living archive like the crystal. It will respond to our curiosity and cooperation. Here, we can learn and contribute without harming." Amara felt a surge of pride. Humanity often feared the unknown, but here, they were welcomed for their courage, intelligence, and willingness to work together. With Zyra's guidance, they had proven that humans could rise to challenges and gain understanding without arrogance or fear. Exploring the planet, they discovered vast networks of energy conduits, structures designed to teach and test, and natural formations that seemed to harmonize with technology. Every step was a lesson in science, strategy, and morality. Amara marveled at the balance of intelligence, energy, and nature, realizing that humans had much to learn, but also much potential to contribute. "This is the ultimate discovery," Amara said, recording her observations. "A civilization that combined knowledge, responsibility, and harmony with the universe. Humans can learn from this and maybe reach similar heights." Zyra smiled, her eyes reflecting the golden sunlight. "Yes. And the journey itself, the challenges, the cooperation, the courage, proves that humans are capable. When guided by curiosity and unity, you can achieve great things." As the sun of the distant planet rose, Amara felt a deep sense of hope. Humanity's future was uncertain, but with knowledge, courage, and cooperation, there was no limit to what they could achieve. And as long as they embraced these qualities, humans could explore the universe responsibly, leaving positive marks rather than destruction. "Together, we've discovered something incredible," Amara said, looking at Zyra. "The crystal, the challenges, this planet, it shows that humanity can rise to the stars, not just for adventure, but for understanding, growth, and cooperation." Zyra's voice was soft, yet filled with certainty. "And we have proven it. This journey shows what humans can achieve. Curiosity, courage, and unity are your greatest strengths. Always remember that." Amara smiled, feeling the weight of history and possibility. "We will. And we'll continue exploring, learning, and growing. Humanity has a future among the stars, and this is only the beginning." Together, human and alien, they gazed at the horizon, where golden light touched distant forests and mountains, rivers and seas. Beyond them lay the unknown universe, vast, full of challenges and discoveries. But now they were ready. They had courage, intelligence, unity, and friendship. They had proven that humans could rise, not just to survive, but to thrive and inspire. And somewhere deep in the energy of the planet, the crystal's pulse echoed softly, a reminder that knowledge, wisdom, and courage were always rewarded, especially when shared. Amara Lee and Zyra had reached the star beyond, but their journey was far from over. Together, they would explore, learn, and show the universe what humans could achieve when guided by heart, mind, and unity. The adventure had begun in a small lab on a distant colony, but it had led them to the stars and beyond. And humanity, with courage, curiosity, and cooperation, was ready to follow.